Hello everybody, very good morning to you all and happy Friday. I hope everyone is doing well and had a good week in the markets. It is Friday morning. I know it's Friday. People tend to clock off for the week, but we've got some big things to talk about. We've had the recent stock market crash, should we say, as everyone's calling it. Everyone's going mad because the stock market's fallen. Crazy, isn't it? So hopefully we'll be able to, decide that opinion on when is the right time to buy the dip. That's what we're going to be looking at today, and I'm actively looking for a decent buying opportunity. If I'm being honest, anytime I see a correction of sort of 3 to 10% in the stock market, I'm always thinking, okay, is there any way that we can get involved? I'm hearing from analysts and experts that there's in terms of the big banks and institutions that there's plenty of liquidity on the side, ready, waiting to cash in on this current dip that we see. So I'm certainly not panicking just yet, but it does go back to that point that we made at the over the last few weeks about when we were talking about cryptocurrencies and we were talking about the stock market. Even I fell into this trap as well, and I was one of my losing trades this month. Was that you have to think about the risk versus reward when it comes to buying these assets when they're already at all-time highs. Okay, so that's really the main lesson for everyone. Good morning to the community. It's good to see you all. Thank you very much for the messages, Kurt, and hello to you. And good morning to you, Dibble, and whoever is watching on catch up later. Maybe not as many people because I know people like to clock off for the weekend and stuff, but I hope you are doing well. The DAX has just hit the FVG on the 4 hour. Okay, we'll have a look at that, shall we? Let's dive into that. Okay, right, so we'll do that first of all then, Kurt, and I'll have a look at the current state of play in the DAX, because we did have a really nice trade on the DAX as well. This also represents, by the way, I'll just quickly say, before I go back to that, just go back. This is the final day of the month. This is the final day of February. Just be careful. Last week we saw quite a lot of profit taking heading into the weekend, and I'm not saying we will get exactly the same thing. However, on the final day of the month, sometimes what you see is like let's just call it the big guys, the big banks, institutions, the hedge funds. They sort of close their positions. They close some of their positions off for the month. They like to square off the month on the books, and sometimes that when you take away that, it can cause like sort of random, pockets of volatility towards the end of the day, and the fact that it's a Friday and the week's ending on a Friday and people heading into the weekend. I mean, I'm even thinking about doing it myself because I journal month by month, and currently it's really annoying me that I'm minus 200 £200 for the month, and I've got a current crude oil trade which is sitting plus 1%. So I could close that today, close the books, and start fresh in March. And I am actually really tempted to do that. So I just wanted to let you people know about that as well. Okay, good stuff. Right. All right. So let's look at the DAX then for you, Kurt, and let's just have a quick look at what it is that you're talking about. Now, I wanted to show you what I believe that you got wrong yesterday, and I don't mean that in a horrible way, of course. If you actually look, you was talking about those equal highs. Was that correct? Let me try and find it where it was. Yeah, here. So let's just zoom in on that. Okay, so yeah, we've got equal highs there. Let's get rid of this. We don't care about any of this. Just trying to make it clean. Just a bit of a lesson, bit of a workshop, Curtin. Look, we had equal highs there, you were correct. But if you look what happened, right, we actually came, and I don't know if maybe your broker was seeing something different, it's fine. But what I was seeing was a market which came and took out those equal highs, then reacted lower, then come up for the retest, yeah? Probably, I imagine that within this wick there might be some sort of lower time frame order block or something for those scalpers. And then we got the distribution to the downside. Again, break lower. There's the confirmation, right? When we get the breakdown below a structure low, that's our confirmation. There. right? Then a move up, and then look where we run into. This supply zone / order block. That was the trade. So I don't mean to. I'm not calling you out, Curtin, because your analysis has been great. I just think you were biased towards looking for longs when actually this was a bearish setup. Equal highs taken out. Reaction from the 4-hour 50% fair value gap. Market consolidates. Take out the equal highs. Come up for a retest. Then we get the break of structure. That's the confirmation. The break of structure. Then, again, patience. Up to the supply zone. There's the trade. Yeah? Hope that makes sense for you. No, no worries. I hope that was just a good lesson for you. So I know how it feels sometimes when you're watching markets and you've got this bias that you're looking for something, whereas you're waiting. Not instead of looking for something, you need to wait for the market to tell you what it is. That's yeah. Okay. Right. So last night. Okay, so last night we had one of the worst days, if not the worst day, in the year on the Nasdaq. We fell quite significantly, and as you can see, people are looking and wondering, is it time for the recovery? Now, heading on to the charts. Now then, 4-hour time frame. You can see the fall, right? You can see the fall from all-time highs. We're currently fallen nearly 8%, so we're starting to get into correction territory. Now, is there an opportunity to buy? I believe there is, but it won't be without confirmation, as I've said. So what we can see in this range, this is a daily time frame, is we've taken the top side, we've taken all the liquidity on the top side, and now we've come down to take the liquidity on the downside. So the answer, is it time to buy the dip? Depends for me on the Nasdaq. Depends for me if we see this liquidity grab actually be confirmed by a candle closure back inside the range. So it's Friday, it's the end of the month. If we get a rally late into the day and we close somewhere up around 20,600, basically above this low, then I think that shapes us up next week to have a move back up into the middle of the range. That could be the play. However, if we see a situation where the market closes below this low, then for me, it could be time for a deeper correction down to 20,000. So at the moment, I would say that the situation is tentative. Is that the right word? I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's on edge. It really is on a fine balance. So again, I wouldn't be looking necessarily just yet, but instead of joining in on the panic and despair, actually look at this as an opportunity in the future. Of course, it could be a situation where we come and trade much lower, and we have a deeper correction. But even still, for me, that still represents a great opportunity. I am done selling the stock market. For those who have tuned into my streams, probably for the past 4 or 5 years, will know that I got burnt selling the stock market one year, trying to predict all this RSI divergence at the top and being all pessimistic about, reading all the main news articles, seeing all the negative news and thinking, we're going to fall. Guys, I'm looking at any dip as an opportunity, basically. Right, so now we can talk about oil. So I'm in a bit of a situation here because yesterday you can see how we came pretty close, or I came pretty close to being stopped out at my entry level. So this is the trade that I had on. I was aiming for 66. I still am aiming for 67.5. And what I wanted to do was, I was hoping that we would see seven, like, because I wasn't, I know that we're going to see, pullbacks along the way, but as long as this, this bit here stays intact, we're still, for me, still seeing bearish price action, so I'm still favouring downside. Yesterday, what happened was, at first I thought, well, once we were trading up above here, I thought, well, I'm going to get stopped out. I'm going to get stopped out at 70.7. But actually, what we did see, or since then, is actually we've really failed to convincingly close above the 70 area, which is a good bearish sign for me. And actually now we're seeing it move back down towards the downside. So my debate with myself is, I could either close out the position now, the rest of the position, for, let's have a look. Well, it's currently 1.5% up. And that would put me in 1.5% profit for the month on my journal. Or I let it go and I trade how I normally would and just let it go despite it being the end of the month, etc., etc. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something somewhere in the middle of that, and I'm actually going to move my stop loss to this high here, which puts me actually about, let's do it actually, let me do it. That puts me, so that's just above that high, right? So that would put me £245 in profit, which, if I put that in the journal to, oh yeah, it would put me profitable. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, right, let's do it. Because what I'll then do, because I'm always honest with my journal, I will then, if that trade closes out, it's fine. It's documented in February. But if the trade continues and hits, goes down and hits my 67.5 area, then I'll just take £250 manually off the profit in March on that trade. Because I'm always honest when it comes to the trading. Actually, what I'm doing. So let's have a look. Oh no, but we have already closed. Sorry. I don't know why I'm saying that. Just ignore me. I've already closed out some of the position, haven't I? Yeah, I've already closed out some of the position. Okay, let's put that in for this month then. That will do, and then I can hold the rest. So, God, my brain's not working today. When did I actually enter? What date did I enter it, man? There it is, on the 25th. Sorry about that. We were short. I was short on the oil market at a price of 70.788. This is, so my take profits, I'm just going to put it down because I took off I took off some at 1-to-1 and then some at 2-to-1. So I'm just going to do around whatever I took off last, which was 70.2. So my closed P&L for that, excuse me, I'm just going to get a calculator. It's 393 plus 138 plus 422 plus 135. It was quite a few confluences here, wasn't it, on that trade? There was the H4 Trend Rider and also a FEG reaction as well. I had a great confidence in that trade. Fundamentally, it was great as well. I just need to put in here that this is an ongoing trade. Right, and then I can put that into my 2025 trades. Sorry, there. And that will update my P&L. So I've managed to claw back. At one stage I was 3% down. I was fine with that. I wasn't desperately trying to just make it back just for the. Well, I was trying to make it back, obviously, but I wasn't stressed out about it at all. So that means that for February, 4 wins, 3 losses, 1% profit, pretty much. About 1.3%. I'll just do it roughly. So that's 11% profit for the year, which I'm really happy with. 7 winners, 3 losers. For February, I took 3 losses and 4 winners. And I've still got the crude oil trade open right now. So overall, not a bad little month. What I'll then do, as I always do in the journal, is I'll add a new tab for March. So I'm documenting that. Make sure you chuck me a follow or anything on TikTok as well, because I'm going to do a quick review of the month. I do it every month, so I'm just trying to document that. So there you go. There's my P&L graph. If anyone wants access to this as well, just drop a comment on the thing. Okay, now quickly, I just want to look at some potential new opportunities that we've got coming out. Now, we are finally seeing the confirmation coming through that the dollar's reversing. So it's one of those things where, like, when you call a reversal really well, and sometimes it can take off without you, it's very important to remain patient. So what we can see now from the dollar, this is a 4-hour time frame, is potentially we're going to be breaking above this key high, which is exactly what we predicted. It all came from that RSI divergence as well, so I'm really happy with that call. So this high is really important. It looks to me like we're going to break above it. If we do break above it, this is where patience comes in, because that's great. We've now got the confirmation that the dollar's reversing. For me, that's my confirmation. It doesn't necessarily 100% mean it's going to happen. I'm just saying, from what I'm seeing on the technicals, it's we're seeing confirmation of reversal, which means now we wait for the pullback. We wait for the higher low to be printed, and then we get in on that next wave higher. Now, in trading, sometimes you can't always make every trade that you place, and I missed a really, really clean and obvious one because I was waiting for confirmation from the dollar index. But dollar CAD, you can see, look at the breakout here, right into the 50% of this fair value gap, right into the EMA 12 of this 1-hour trend rider. Missed it. So just to let you know, I'm not you're not the only one who misses out on trades. It happens to everybody. So okay, so for me next week, what I'm looking for is, now you can see we've had that crossover. I've already missed it, haven't I? Yeah, missed it. I've missed the dollar CAD story. Let's just have a look at some of the other markets. Maybe dollar yen. You can see that as well. Starting to see, look at that breakout there above this channel. Retest. Now we're going higher. I'm going to look for something like this. Breakout higher, because it's probably not a trade that we can do today, but it's a trade shaping up for March. I want to see a dollar yen move up to around the 151. I challenge anyone to try and have a look at trying to do it themselves. See if you've got any other dollar rated pairs. On Monday, I'll do a complete top to bottom on the dollar pairs to find what I think may be the best one to try and catch on to the dollar upside. Gold is correcting as predicted as well. So no dramas there. I've now gold is coming back onto my radar. I want to see a move. You know, I want to see a deeper correction down into 2,800 before I have a look. So I'm just going to let this current drop play out. And just finally on cryptocurrencies, yeah, it's pretty ugly. The quicker it goes up, the quicker it goes down, guys. This is what we always say. Yeah, not the best weekly candle I've ever seen for Bitcoin. We're now trading below 80,000. I think we've now given up all of the gains that we saw since Trump came into power in the US. Look, I know there's crypto traders out there, and I know it can be scary, but the good news is there is no good news. No, I'm trying to think of a decent support area to try and look to trade this from. I think if you're buying and holding, you just got to be patient now. I don't necessarily like spot trade cryptocurrencies really. However, if I see a move down to around the 70,000 mark, I'm probably personally gonna put some money into these ones that you see here: XRP, Ethereum potentially, Bitcoin and Quant maybe. I'm not sure, but probably definitely XRP and Bitcoin. I'm going to look to potentially get involved, shall I say, on a dip sort of below that, around that 70,000 mark around here. It's probably something that I'll look to do, but nothing set in stone just yet. Okay, good stuff. Right. Thank you very much to those who tuned in today, and if you are watching later on, I do hope you enjoy the stream and have a good weekend. I will be still around in the Discord channel for today, but I will be, as I said, sort of doing a review of my trades and having a look to see what I can get for next week. I've pretty much already done that, so yeah, I think we're in a good place, and that just leads me to say, hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We have got the core PCE price index, so we'll see if that causes any more dollar upside potentially. So just put that one in your calendars. So I do hope everyone has a good weekend and trade safe, trade well. Today is a Friday, and we do have that final day of the month, so be careful with those random areas of profit taking. Okay, take care. Cheers.